Today is a special day because today we are going to be revealing the new AMG. As you all know from the previous episode, we have sold the AMG GTS. Wasn't an easy thing to do, especially after just having it wrapped and then selling it a week later. But I mean, that car did look absolutely amazing when you think how far it come from what it was back in January all the way up until now, modification wise, what I've done to it, performance wise. The car was impeccable and maintained to the best of the best anyway. So for the last couple of weeks now, I have been debating what AMG to buy. And it hasn't been easy because I've been going backwards and forwards with different ideas. I mean, I'm not that young anymore, I'm getting older. So I was starting to think maybe I should move into the realms of like a GLE 63, GLC 63, something like that. After test driving a couple, I realised a bit too slow, a bit too bulky, not really for me. And to be honest with you, I don't have kids, I don't have animals or anything like that. I don't really need to worry and get a 4x4. So then I thought about an estate car, like an E63 wagon or a C63 wagon. Then I thought, I don't really need an estate car either. So, and I've had a C63S, I've had a W204 C63, I've had all the CLA 45s, I've had all them sort of cars anyway. The GTS for me was extremely special, and it's hard to go from that back to a normal, everyday sort of high-performance car. Not putting the C63s down or anything like that. It's just once you have owned a GT, you sort of realise how special they are compared to the rest of Mercedes Benz high-performance vehicles. So, behind this shutter is my new AMG, and I am absolutely fucking gassed by this car, and I think it's about time we reveal the new AMG. So without any more delays, let's get this shutter open and let's reveal the new AMG. And there you have it, guys, my new AMG GT R. Fucking dream come true. Like, I know the GTS was a dream come true, but this is just next level shit, honestly. I'm going to run you through some differences between the GTS and the GTR, because honestly, they are mind-blowing, the differences between these cars. A lot of you think, nah, worth the money, they look the same. Trust me now, they are a completely different breed of vehicle. But we're going to run you through all the differences now, show you some of the differences in specs as well, and just how great this car actually is. Let's get into it, shall we? First up, we've got the rear arches. Now, the rear arches on a GTR sit quite a bit further out than a GTS. Not something that the untrained eye would ever notice, but obviously being a car fanatic and an AMG lover, you notice it straight away. When I got a GTS, I didn't actually know about the difference in the size of the arches. And when I eventually found out about the difference in the size of the arches, I got really pissed off. Especially when you see a GTR in person, you see the difference. I'm not too sure on the actual length difference. I'm pretty sure it's about 1.5, maybe 2 inches in difference, because it accommodates these unbelievable 12J alloys, and these are fucking massive. They're sitting on 325/30 20s, and I have got 15mm spaces on here already. Just to push it out just that little bit more. You can see here just how far out it actually comes. Now, that's not the only reason that these rear arches are wider and the stance is wider. The GTC also has the same rear end, apart from the rear bumper, as the GTR. The GTS and the GT doesn't have this. Now, these vehicles, along with the GTCs, have rear wheel steering. Trust me, unbelievable for driving. So if you're doing low speeds, the wheels will turn the opposite way to the front wheels, which does make parallel parking a bit of a nightmare, but it ain't the end of the world. But it helps you turn circle quite a lot. Now, when this is really impressive is when you are doing high speeds, like of track racing and all that sort of shit. The rear wheels will turn the same way as the front wheels, which honestly, I've never hugged bends before in a car the way this thing hugged bends. You could take a bend at 70, 80, 90 mile per hour with ease, provided you've got good tyres, obviously. I mean, at the minute, this has got Pirelli P0s, which I'm not too happy about. Michelin PS4s are going on, but we are in winter now, so I'll probably just burn these out for the time being and then wait until start of next year-ish sort of thing, spring, stick some PS4Ss on it for the day, like for the road running. And then obviously when we go to track it at Germany and stuff like that, obviously we're going to chuck some Cup 2s on, but there's no point in me spending nearly £2,000 on tyres now when they're just going to get ruined by the winter. But yeah, that is the first biggest difference on the GTR compared to the GTS. Next up, on the front of the vehicle, we've got extended front arches. Once again, I'm not sure how far out these sit compared to the GTS, but they are wider. The wings are also made out of carbon fibre as well, from factory. Total weight saving. Unbelievable. Coming in at about £3,500 each as well, I think, plus VAT if you've got to buy them from Mercs. Now, the even more special part about the front end of this vehicle is underneath here is £4,500 plus that carbon fibre under tray, and it's not for show. This under tray splits into two thanks to an actuator motor which is fitted inside of that under tray, which is also an additional part, which is about £1,100 plus VAT as well from Mercedes Benz. Now what this does, when you're in Sport or Sport Plus, it deploys downwards, it separates, creating a 1.6 inch distance between the floor and the car. And what this does, it halves the downforce of the vehicle. So when I say halves the downforce of the vehicle, what I actually mean is it improves the downforce of the front end of the vehicle by 50%. 50%, all from lowering that actuator. On the road, incredible, but you can only imagine how amazing this feature is on a track. To pull the vehicle down by 50% more downforce. Unbelievable. Now you know why that's about £6,500, don't you? Next up, let's go to the back of the vehicle. Now, unlike the GTS, the GTR features this immense rear diffuser. And what this rear diffuser actually does is houses not two, but 3 exhaust outlets. And it sounds insane. And this is stock as well. I haven't tuned this car yet, I haven't done anything. So let me give you a little sneak peek of what it actually sounds like. You believe that's stock? I haven't tuned this car. It's still got both sets of cats in it and hasn't even got a stage 1 tune on it. Unbelievable. Next up, we come to the rear wing of the vehicle. Now, these come in 2 options and they come as standard on the GTR as well. You can either have full black plastic, which is what this is. Personally bought this car brand new, didn't option out the carbon fibre package on the rear wing, unfortunately. Not the end of the world though, because we can change that at a later date. Or the full carbon fibre GTR rear spoiler, which I did have on my GTS, and that was a genuine one from factory as well. Doesn't really come into play that much. They're not active spoilers, you can't do anything with them. You can adjust them, there is adjustable nuts underneath here. Apart from that, it's more that it looks pretty and looks different, but they do obviously play a big role in downforce on the back end of these vehicles. Next up, we come to the roof. Full carbon fibre roof panel from factory and standard on the GTR. Now the GTS and the GT have a panoramic glass roof, which I did actually quite like. I say that though, but then I never really had my blind back much ever, to be honest with you. So I'm not really missing that as such. Does make it a little bit more claustrophobic inside the car, because as once again, the visibility outside of these cars isn't great anyway. But for the weight saving and the look, this is just unbelievable. Next up, let's head to the engine bay. Next up under here, we have probably one of the best looking engines in the world. We have a 4-litre V8 turbo, 577 brake horsepower engine. Hand built by Fabian Roux, I believe, if I can read that correctly. Now, the GTRs actually have much bigger turbos than the GTSs. They also have increased size in fuel pumps as well. All of this accommodates this beautiful engine and pushes it to 570 brake horsepower from factory. That's before you tune this car. So already, this is just a fast vehicle straight out the shop. Tuning these vehicles, you can get them up to about 780 brake horsepower with a simple stage 2 tune. That is downpipes and a tune. This vehicle will be tuned in the near future. I am not going with downpipes. We are going to stick with high flow cats purely for the fact that I am of an age where I don't like pops, crackles and bangs too much, and I like to keep things a bit more classy. Next up is the seats. Now, normally GTRs leave the factory with the Recaro AMG bucket seats. I didn't want a GTR with them seats purely for the fact this is a daily car and it's not a race car to me anyway. I will only probably track this car twice a year. Plus, when you've got a partner as well who will not sit in a racing seat unless it's heated and electric, you've got no option really, have you? So we have stuck with the AMG Sport seats, and to be honest with you, I think these are one of the best seats that Mercedes Benz have ever made. Full electric, fully heated, comfortable all year round, and still perfect for a track because you still have lumbar support which you can control manually as well. Now, I will get some Recaro bucket seats custom made for this vehicle when I do take it to Germany and track it. But for now, we're going to keep these AMG bucket seats in the car. Next up, we come to the inside of the vehicle. Now, there isn't that much difference in the GTS, GTR, GT, GTC inside, but they do have something very, very, very special inside the GTR, and we're going to show you that now. So inside of a GTR, you have this little yellow Lego look-alike knob, and what this does is it controls the traction control, but it doesn't just turn it on or off. It gives you full control over how much traction you actually want. It does this cool little light up sequence when it starts. Now, if I hold the traction button down, you'll see that it lights up. This now means that I have full control over the traction system. This is absolutely standard inside of a GTR. This is not an aftermarket fix. As you can see, you get it up on the dash there, so we're on and go all the way over here, and that is complete traction off. This is probably something I wouldn't recommend if you've bought one of these and you haven't got a lot of driving experience with these sort of cars. I would save that for the track and after you've had a bit of practice. But that is another difference between a GT, GTS, GTC and a GTR. The GTR and the GTR Pro and the GTR Black Series are the only 3 cars that have that from factory. Now, there are companies in America, I believe, who are designing or already made that particular switch to fit the GT, GTSs, GTCs, all that sort of thing, because they all have that compatibility to actually be able to use that system in the vehicle. It's just they saved it for the GTR versions of these vehicles. And last but not least, how much did I pay for this car? Now, values of the GTRs have been going up and down for a little while. They have never really dropped below 80 at all since the day they come out. You are now seeing the prices go between 90 to 100 grand, and then obviously once you start getting into the Roadster versions and the Pros, you're hitting like 130s, 140s and higher. And then Black Series is just a whole nother ball game, but we're not going to get into that. For this vehicle, I paid £85,000. Now, I purchased it from DMB Collection up in Leeds. Dean's a great guy, so is James and Brad and Trudy. The team up there are fantastic people, very honest, very easy to deal with. And to be honest with you, when I'm done with this car, if I ever decide to sell it, it probably will be going back to them for me to trade in for something else, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Car is finished in Magnite Black, which is a fantastic colour because it goes from a grey, blue, black colour, accompanied by gloss back accents all around the vehicle, as I've just showed you guys, and finished off with yellow brake calipers from factory. The car is an absolute head turner. I love this vehicle. I loved my GTS, but this is just a whole different car. It's hard to explain it to you guys unless you've ever driven one or owned one. You'll never really understand how much different they are to the GT and GTSs. Once again, guys, thank you for watching Everything AMG. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for watching this episode. Thanks for the support, the likes, the comments, everything. Love it when you guys reach out to me on email if you need some advice or anything, or if you ever want to purchase some parts and customization parts. You know full well that I sell all this stuff, and I also fit it all as well, and we do all this in-house as well. You know the website by now. It's www.germanparts.co.uk. Whatever you need, guys, just give us a shout. We also have a 20% off Black Friday sale for everything off the website, and if it's not on the website and you are looking for something in particular, email us and we will still apply that discount to whatever it is that you are looking for. Once again, thanks for watching Everything AMG, guys. Catch you in the next episode.